Congratulations to JoJo Diaz. He stated that he worked for years for this fight in particular, and he pulled it off. So hard work pays off at the end of the day. Tevin Farmer, on the other hand, he stated he broke his hand in the first round. However, there's no excuses to be made because JoJo Diaz, on the other hand, he suffered a bad cut in the second round on top of his left eye. It was a really deep cut that could have easily stopped the fight. It reminded me exactly of the Tyson Fury cut that he suffered against Wallen. So that being said, credit to JoJo Diaz for actually fighting throughout the cut and pulling off the win. So that's why there shouldn't be any excuses to be made. JoJo Diaz came prepared, and I believe the fact that JoJo Diaz was a southpaw and he was familiar with fighting other southpaws because he obviously fought Gary Russell. However, when he fought Gary Russell, he waited too long. But in this fight, he started early, and that gave Tevin Farmer a lot of problem and a lot of trouble, just the fact that JoJo Diaz was a southpaw. In my opinion, his defense wasn't as sweet. He was getting caught with a lot of punches in the pocket, and the key word is in the pocket. For some reason, Tevin Farmer chose to abandon his footwork and not move around the ring. Instead, he chose to fight in the pocket most of the night, limiting his chances to win because he obviously didn't really use a lot of angles, or at least maybe JoJo Diaz didn't allow Tevin Farmer to utilize the angles that he wanted to because of him being a southpaw. We all know when a southpaw faces another southpaw, it's like standing or looking in the mirror. So that being said, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, and that's the zone. They were applying a lot of pressure on Tevin Farmer, telling him to be more offensive. And if he wants the exciting fights, he have to beat JoJo Diaz in excited fashion. So maybe that was something he was trying to prove, and he stayed in the pocket, showing that he had heart. If that was the reason, then that was definitely the wrong game plan because, as we saw, it cost him the fight, trying to prove that he's excited. You have to get the W first and look flashy later. So that being said, that could be a reason, but it's interesting to me when Tevin Farmer fought another southpaw like JoJo Diaz, he did not use his footwork. It reminded me when Rigan Diaz moved up 2 weight divisions and fought Lomachenko, he did the same thing. He was supposed to use his footwork, however, he chose not to. And as we've seen with Tevin Farmer as well, it cost both of them the fight, really. And we seen JoJo Diaz school Tevin Farmer or beat Tevin Farmer and break him down because one thing for sure, just like Gary Russell stated, Tevin Farmer, something that he's missing is that F you on his punches. Tevin Farmer doesn't have that. Gary Russell also stated that Gervonta Tank Davis, what separates him is that F you on his punches. So that being said, that's how the fight kind of played out today, and I believe Tevin Farmer fought the wrong game plan, but all credit to JoJo Diaz because he fought like he had something to prove, and he definitely proved himself tonight, becoming a world champion and defeating a real world champion. You have to be from that same cloth if you're going to pull off a victory like that, and JoJo Diaz definitely showed, even throughout adversity, he could still have his tunnel vision and get the victory and get the job done. And that's exactly what he did because he the one that suffered a cut and still was landing beautiful left hands and a lot of punches throughout the fight. And we all know Tevin Farmer have that sweet defense, that sweet P defense, RIP. But JoJo Diaz found him all night, especially with that left hand. So like I said, I don't know if it's because Tevin Farmer struggles against southpaws, at least with a JoJo Diaz style, but also JoJo Diaz is a great fighter himself. So congratulations to him. And of course, I'm about to cover the Andre fight, so be on the lookout for that. And subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't listen to these casual fans / old media. And if you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore boxing fan, all you have to do is attend the Akhi University every Sunday. We have real life professors like Professor Nim who teach at the Akhi University for free. All you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post, or go live on Split Decision every Sunday. Call in, tune in. Shout out to Lunatune, that's my broski. You can follow his link in the description description box below for the funniest boxing memes. If a picture says 1,000 words, his picture says 1,000,000 words. Obviously, follow me too at Akhi TV. Shout out to DBN. Shout out to Dante for starting the new media. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV.